Hello, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Here's Lygia with your Summer Solstice 2023 reading, and it's going to be a brief one, just so that you can get along with everything that you're doing today and any ceremonies that you decide to do today, because in honor of this beautiful sun that we have. And wow, are we ever getting a lot of downloads at this time. For anybody who's having difficulties sleeping or are super energetic, or anybody who's been having any type of symptoms with regards to sleep and or pain, then this is what it is, because our body is adjusting to all of the particles that are coming in from the sunshine, the solar energies, and the cosmic particles that are changing us at the cellular level. So if you want to learn a little bit more and also just take part in a ceremony, I've posted a solstice meditation, and you are welcome to join me on that in the video. I believe the solstice perfects at 9:58 Central Time, so that's where I'm at, 7:58 in the Pacific time. So if you're wanting to do something exactly on the time, that's the time period you should do it. However, the energies have been very prominent for actually weeks before this time period. And I think a lot of us, if you think back, you might actually be feeling these symptoms as well. And you might be feeling some symptoms just for another week or so afterwards. Now, the solstice and equinoxes, the eclipses, and you've got the full moon and the new moon energies. These keep really bringing our emotions to a new height, and also allowing us to deal with things that we may not have wanted to deal with before, or experiences that we've had that we wanted to reflect upon. And this is a time of reflection. So I want to get right into this reading and see where we go from this. And by the way, I would have been wearing yellow if I had yellow, just to honor the sun. But there is a video that Pam Gregory and interviewing Magenta Pixie has out there. And what's interesting about that is that Magenta speaks, she channels the white-winged collective consciousness of the nine. And she was mentioning about the fact that amethyst is really prominent at this time. She talks a little bit more in that video if you want to actually just take a look at that today too, or whenever, and how it the vortices of the earth, which is what my meditation is about, also amplifies. It's very heightened at this particular time. This is a very iconic solstice in our history, because we've never actually had something as great as this in our past history, in our known history. So have a look at that if you want. Amethyst, these are raw amethyst, by the way, and I've got a number of them because I'm surrounded by it. Wearing purple because it's also that amethyst color, to amplify and to strengthen the energies that are coming in at this particular time. And so I have them around me, and I encourage you to give yourself a specific spot so that you can also have a crystal grid, having the amethyst around you, the quartz, any crystals that can actually help to magnify, create that crystal grid, or place it around you in a spot if you're going to meditate today. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at this. And I'm doing this raw, and I'm going to just post it so that you can have something to look at for the solstice today. There's the Wisdom of the Oracle is where I'm drawing these cards from Colette Baron-Reid. And this is one of her original decks. And basically it's pretty phenomenal. I've picked 3 cards, and I haven't looked at them. So let's look at them together. So the first card that we have is Come to the Edge. Now, it's pretty interesting. I believe, and for all intents and purposes, this is a time to let go of fears. Absolutely let go of fears, any phobias. And it's not to say that you are the one who's actually keeping it, because our subconsciousness has a lot to do with this too. But what you can do is also ask your guides, your intuition, your all that is the source, to help you in relieving and letting go, relieving yourself, and letting go of all of the fears or phobias that you have, because these are possibly phobias or fears that have actually come from your past incarnations or are imprinted upon your DNA for some reason or another, that it just stays with you. So in this lifetime, you obviously don't need this at this time. Any fears could hold you back at this time, the blocking the energy that comes in directly from source. You don't want any blocks. So try as much as you can, sending it out there as an intention or prayer to let go of the fears, and and finding out basically where are these fears coming from. Is it possible that these fears are from an earlier time period in your life, as in this lifetime, or do you sense it as something that you had not actually gone through, and that knowing that had come from an incarnation, a past incarnation? And it's easier at that point to just say, all right, okay, let's work on that, let's get rid of it, because there's no need for it this time. It's going to hurt me in my forward endeavors. So let's have a look at come to the edge. The essential meanings: courage, taking a leap of faith, overcoming fear, and accepting risk. And this is something where leaping a leap of faith, at this point, we are moving into such a remarkable time. And the sun, the energy from the sun, is helping us to move into our higher state of human consciousness and collective consciousness. So here's the message. Facing the unknown is the only choice you really have right now if you want to progress. It's okay to be afraid. Now is the time to take a risk that is not calculated, to feel the exhilaration as you ready yourself for a leap of faith. Spirit is present, so let go of fear. That is so true. You're always supported. You are called to express your true self. Listen to your heart and soul, not your head. Come to the edge and discover that you can fly. You must step into the unfamiliar so that you may find your miracles. And that's so true, stepping outside of our comfort zone. And in fact, we've been seeing examples of that since 2020, coming out of our comfort zone. And at this time, there is no comfortable medium, because things are changing so rapidly. Even time is changing. It's getting rapid, more and more faster as you see time and events happening. Let's look at the relationship message. It's scary to be truly intimate with someone, to allow him or her to see all of you, especially the parts that you've kept hidden and protected. Now is the time to take that risk and let yourself be seen, truly seen. It's important that you speak up, voice what you need, state who you are, say what you hope for. This is not the time to play it safe, but to take a leap of faith. You will be glad that you did. If you're seeking a relationship, the same applies. Take one step towards the gods and they will deliver what you truly desire. And this is interesting, just saying that basically there are going to be people that are coming in and out of your life at this particular time. Just different types of relationships that may have that don't resonate with you at this particular time, or your life purpose at this particular time. So you'll be finding different people coming in and out, and that's where you're taking a leap. You're taking a leap to allow this person into your life. And maybe a perfect stranger is one of those people that you would actually tell your most deepest, darkest secrets to, and you would not expect that would have come out. So let's look at a prosperity message here. If ever there was a time for you to take a leap of faith into the unknown, it is now. This is the perfect moment to take a big risk. The unknown is the only choice now. And if you come to the edge, you will discover treasure beyond your wildest dreams. Allow your courage to lead you in spite of your fears. You don't need to know the exact form of what you're going for. The essence is much more powerful, and Spirit has a way of delivering an even better version of prosperity than you could ever imagine. Take that step. The results will be amazing. This could apply to any type of career or a job that is out there, or somebody that actually offers something to you, or if there's actually a time to let go of all of that and retire, quit if you need to, or just you have been actually let go. If that is the case, take it as a miracle. Take it as an opportunity rather than something that you are sad and depressed about. There's always a reason for everything to happen, and this will also lead you, because Spirit is leading you into the right right path to gain that good prosperity. And one more thing about the relationship, also taking and holding healthy boundaries that you already have is also part of that taking a risk. Because as you take a risk, you want to also have your healthy personal boundaries in check. Protection message. So this is something, if the card was taken upside down, I'm just going to say this one because I have a feeling this has something to do with, for some people in particular, fear is leading the way into places you don't need to go. Most of what you fear at the moment is an illusion stemming from an old belief that isn't even true. Now is the time for courage. You will not be lost at sea. You will not watch everyone else get what you want while you are left alone and unloved. Oh, the drama of it all. False evidence appearing real is, so false evidence appearing real, fear, is hovering over you. The more you dwell on fear, the more real it will become. And that is so true. Ask yourself, who in me is afraid? And this is what I was saying. Reflect. Love that part of you. Ask, is this true and real right now? The answer most likely is no. Give yourself a hug. It's okay to be scared. Courage must be summoned. In spite of your fear, even when you're not feeling confident, spirit will always catch you. Such a beautiful message and so pertinent for this time period, especially with all these light codes coming in, are changing us so much. And we may not actually know this. You might think, like, what is she talking about? But basically, this is happening at your DNA level. It is upgrading us to experience in real time what our future is, what our origins are as well. We might find knowledge. Again, it's a clairvoyance that we don't know where it came from, but basically that is what we have available to this time. And so as we learn more about ourselves, we will likely be placed in different positions where we'll find we are going to have this courage to go forward. We're going to feed off each other's courage. And also at that point, if we're feeding off each other's collective consciousness, so that courage is really such a high bar, then it really pushes fear away. So we have help in doing this. Our next card is the deep knowing. This is quite nice. You have an owl there, and the deep knowing is very interesting. I would find that deep knowing is exactly what I just said about the inner knowledge that you have, that intuition that you also have. This also sets you aside to discriminate or not against people. I'm saying discriminate information, to be very astute to what information is being given to you, and discern what is truth and what is not. So let's look at deep knowing and see where we're heading with that, because I think the truth is coming out more and more, and our discernment is going to become more and more prevalent. So the essential meanings: intuition, listening to the oracle within, empathy, and hypersensitivity. So the message: intuition is the faculty that allows you to enter into a dialogue with source, the consciousness that you are a part of but cannot see with the naked eye. It's perplexing that people are taught to ignore this natural capacity to navigate their journeys, to access their inner guidance. Know that you have an ability to read between the lines and find all the truth that was missing when the story was told. This deep knowing allows you to open the door to wisdom far greater than what is available in the limitations of human experience. Just what I was saying about this. You're given information that may make no sense whatsoever to the logical mind or five senses, but which is 100% correct and true. The trick is to listen and then act accordingly. You're now invited into the sacred dialogue of deep knowing to tune in and trust your vibes, because they will be right. Ask and you will receive answers from unusual sources. And that is so true at this particular time. Our intuition is heightening and getting higher and higher and higher. And I would basically foresee that throughout this entire year, in the next 6 months, we're going to find that our intuition is just on a rocket, basically going straight up. And that is also a contributing result from the solar flare or solar particles from solar flares. We do have it, but the solar particles that are coming in and changing us at this time. So a relationship message for this: there are occasions when you just know deep in your heart and soul that a person is going to play a meaningful role in your life. I'm sure you could probably think of that. Some circumstances that you've met somebody and all of a sudden you kind of realize, wait a second, I think this person has something to do with my purpose. Someone crosses your path and suddenly, out of the blue, you're connected at a level impossible to describe. That feeling marks a moment in time etched indelibly onto your soul. Someone has entered your life who will be instrumental on your journey. So pay attention. Two hearts are calling to each other to begin an alchemical process. This is also a sign that your intuition about the person you care about is correct. Trust your heart to lead you now. Magic is about to happen. A wonderful message to also, when you're meeting new people and you're discerning between them, to allow them to come in a little bit so that you can learn more about this person as well, especially if they seem familiar to you. Prosperity message. This is a time when your hunches will pay large dividends if you listen to them. Take a risk and act. Within you, there is an oracular consciousness, a higher and deeper knowing that ascends or transcends the machinations of the smaller thinking mind. At the deep level of your intuitive senses, you have an access point to the genius of the collective. The energies of all thinkers and creators, all inventors and leaders, and all that you need in order to leap into success are available to tune into. This is an act of listening intently. Past the busy mind, your genius awaits. And I believe that this is actually, this talks about the protection message talks about hypersensitivity, and these are also things that you could be suffering from a psychic exhaustion as well. So setting energetic boundaries, just what I had mentioned about setting personal boundaries, set energetic boundaries to also help you along your way when it comes to the intuition and knowing what is correct and right in your life. Let's look at the last card that we have and see the message together. Chaos and conflict. And we know we've got this. We've got this all around us, chaos and conflict. And we're going to run into it. I find it very interesting that it's number 33. So anyways, these are just double numbers, triple numbers. Anyways, chaos and conflict. Let's take a look at this and see what it has to say and how it reflects upon our time today and what it means for us at the solstice. Essential meaning: disarray, being at cross purposes with another, the tension of opposites, the value of chaos before order. And that's true. This is a transformation or transition, change, all about chaos before it becomes an orderly structure, something that we build from the grassroots up. The oracle's message: opposing forces come together to create a turbulent atmosphere, but consider the value of chaos that serves you well as you become unmoored by it. Scattered to the winds, you leave behind the parts of yourself you no longer need and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself anew. Although the conflict appears to exist externally, its essence is also internal, projected outward and causing disarray. You may find yourself at cross purposes with someone else, facing a storm you feel you can't control. Yet every storm passes and chaos leads to a reordering of things. Conflict provides a way to see more than one side of the situation. Look upon this as as just a moment in time when you may need to take shelter and step away from the fray. Don't be too eager to fight. This is a time to understand rather than to be understood. And again, that's seeing it as an empath or with an empathetic point of view, looking at any conflicts that could arise or that are at the point of being right in your face, and basically saying, okay, I'm going to see this from a different point of view so that it doesn't get out of hand. Relationship message: stubbornness is keeping you in a state of opposition. The incessant need to be right will only serve to prolong the conflict that deep down you want to be resolved. This is an opportune moment to learn about your values, your sense of self, what's really important to you. Some things are non-negotiable. If that's true, it's not necessary to fight. Can you find a way through the stormy emotions to higher ground? Soon the air will clear and you will be in a much better place than before, for the storm will have passed, blazing a path for new growth in its wake. Things can become electric and enlightened, always better than before, if you use this time constructively. And that's very true too. Everything is going to, when things kind of get heated and fiery, especially at this particular time, where the astrological alignments actually create this fiery energy right now, which with the solstices and everything around it is basically amplifying that part of it, but it's also burning off that which we don't need anymore, the old systems, and bringing in the new, or at least allowing us to set the groundwork for bringing in the new. The prosperity message. Circumstances appear to be chaotic, but everything that is happening now is in truth shaking things up so you can find the real path to your prosperity. How true that is. Yes, it's a stormy time, and it feels as if there are opposing forces wherever you turn. Ain't that the truth? Be reassured that there is divine purpose in this chaos. Everything that doesn't work is being taken from you, so the truest parts of yourself remain. The events occurring now are essential for your ultimate prosperity. This chaos is divinely inspired, even though it doesn't appear that way now. In time, you will know this to be true. And in fact, I believe that our knowledge and our internal knowing becomes stronger and stronger as we go forward in our evolutionary consciousness as well. It becomes more commonplace that you know that chaos or conflict is going to exist. And when it does, you're able, because of that upgrade, you're actually able to handle that conflict better. And it'll get better and better. So let's look at the protection message for this one here. This is an advantageous moment to restore order and recognize the opportunity for negotiation. Even in the seeming chaos, there is a kind of divine order, a complete resorting of elements. This is powerful. If your intention is to find the best solution for the highest good of all, there is positive news. The timing is perfect. Things are already stirred up, so don't be afraid to jump into the mix. You'll discover everything you need to know about how this situation affects you long term. Be present in the eye of the chaos. This moment is valuable. Don't waste it. And I say just celebrate, celebrate this time, whatever you have going on, celebrate when it happens, when you have conflict or you have issues that kind of arise. And it'll bring up an emotional reaction on the inside. Whether or not you allowed that expression of emotion is your choice. And that's where this the recognition of negotiation comes from, and the way that the card is talking about. We know that we are being opposed from a lot of sides. In the global surroundings right now, we know that freedom is something that is being really questioned, especially for humanity. But know that freedom is always within. We have our own freedom within us. And the higher your vibration, this stuff ain't going to touch you. Just saying, it's not going to touch you. And in fact, the peace that you find within when you look at the being empathetic to others, and especially their situations, if they're reacting and they're creating a conflict with you, or a situation is creating a conflict within you, question that part and say, why am I feeling these emotions? Are they being triggered for a reason? And what is that reason? Is it a reason that, I really do have to stand up for myself and exercise those particular boundaries that I have? Or is it something that is coming up for me to deal with that is a learning experience? So this is a really interesting time. Just the solstice itself is bringing in the energies, and literally this is a turning point. This is something that I believe, and I think has been kind of underlying and been said in other videos as well, is saying that this is a point in our history that we have never ever seen before, in at least in our lifetimes and in thousands of years. So when we're going forward in this, we know that there is going to be a lot of different experiences. We're going to see a lot of changing things that are happening, especially since the earth itself is changing. If you think the solar energy is affecting us, it's definitely affecting the earth. We have earth grids, and in every pattern of those earth grids, we also have vortexes or vortices, as is said in the dictionary, all over the planet. When the solar energy comes in, especially with the solstice, then it literally goes specifically to those vortexes or vortices and amplifies that state. It's that energetic like magnitude of energy, and it disperses it throughout the earth. And with that, if you think about that, it's exciting all of the particles that the earth is made of, the molecules and everything on it, which is us, making things change in vibration, bringing it to a higher vibration every single time. And so sleeplessness or overexcitedness, headaches, mental fogginess, which, boy, I've been affected by it. Anything that makes you feel like you're either sluggish or you're just really, you've been on about 800 cups of coffee. So it could be either way. It affects everybody differently, but it's upgrading us and it's upgrading the earth. So just to review here, coming to the edge, this is pushing the limits. And this is where we are. This is pushing the limits on humanity's courage, faith, hope, structure, love, organizations. It is definitely allowing us to come to the threshold which we're at and spill over and basically walk over that edge. Not to say walk over the edge of a mountain, just walk over the edge of that experience, and that collective consciousness will help you with the courage that we all can create together. We have a deep knowing that is happening at this time too. We have knowledge that is being exposed, or that is being that had lied dormant, that is actually being activated at this time. And it's amazing what we're going to feel like we know and what we're able to share, because when you know it, well, keeping it inside does nothing. So share it with others. Allow this also will help you to bring your tribe together, to recognize your star family, people that you've been with on numerous occasions and numerous incarnations. So helping you to feel more supported. And lastly, that chaos and conflict, it comes with the territory. It's basically anything that happens with change, and humans don't really they don't really respond very well to change. So this definitely is happening at this time, but know that any conflicts or any chaos that is happening that you see is also spurring the necessary changes, the burning off of everything that is no longer serving us. And sometimes chaos and conflict can be very difficult. It could be life-changing. It could be chaotic and fatal, actually. But this is something that, according to divine order, it also brings about a newness that the earth and humanity are moving towards. So with this, I hope you have a wonderful solstice, and I really hope you take the time to breathe into it, bring it into you, allow those particles to move through you and change you without pushing it away or any type of restriction. Just allow these things to happen. Give yourself a time to celebrate in ceremony, or even just to sit for 3 minutes and deep breathe and allow that solar energy to come through you. If you're able to sit in the sun, then do so, especially when it comes to the actual perfection of the solstice. And if anything, just enjoy this day, knowing that it's the beginning of something so much greater for us. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like it, please hit the like button below, subscribe to my channel, and we will talk in the next video. Thank you for joining me on this. Bye for now.